Scientists throughout the years have had different ideas of what the atomic model looked like, or what the structure of an atom was. So scientists throughout the years came up with these different ideas, often building on past scientific discoveries by modifying those discoveries. So I want to take a look at the discoveries of 5 scientists in terms of what they thought the atomic model looked like. So we start with John Dalton, who thought of atoms as small, solid, individual balls. So he thought of them as small, solid, individual balls. And then there was J.J. Thomson, who introduced the plum pudding idea. Now, today, we don't accept the plum pudding atomic model as accurate, but it did get the atomic model on the right track to being accurate. Upon discovering the electron, J.J. Thomson came up with this plum pudding model. Like raisins in an amorphous pudding, electrons were embedded in a positive sphere, or so he thought. Then we come to Ernest Rutherford, who thought of or came up with the planetary model. He thought of atoms as being mostly empty space, and that he believed that most of the mass of an atom came from the small nucleus. Electrons were found orbiting the nucleus, so that's why he called it the planetary model, because electrons were orbiting the nucleus like planets orbit the sun. Then Bohr came up with the idea, building on the planetary model or modifying the planetary model, to say that the electrons orbited the nucleus in discrete circular energy levels or shells. So you can see here how Bohr didn't come up with this idea on his own. He took the planetary model and modified it some to be up to date with some current scientific discoveries. So notice this was discovered by Bohr, so we call this the Bohr model, or the Bohr atomic model, which you're probably somewhat familiar with. Then finally, we come to Erwin Schrödinger, who came up with the idea that electrons orbited in clouds. So this is a little bit different than the other ideas. See, Schrödinger showed that the electrons orbited the nucleus not in discrete orbits, but rather in clouds. And the electron clouds had various shapes and described the probabilities of the electron locations. The electron cloud model is the current quantum model of the atom. So up here on the border, you can basically just see how atomic models evolved with the more discovery that scientists had to come to the model that Schrödinger came up with, which is the current quantum model of the atom. In other words, it's the most accurate model that we have.